Good morning, Ankeny High School. Hope you had a great 3-day weekend. It's Wednesday, January 20th, and this is
Real Ankeny Productions. Hey Alpha, job wearing your ID.
I Always Live the Hawk Way. Which brings us to our first segment of Living the Hawk Way.
Followed by Battle of the Books.
My name is Rachel, and I'm going to show you how to have the best day living the Hawk Way. Be honorable and pick up trash. Be accountable. Be on time for class.
Hey Rachel, can I have a pair of scissors?
Of course. Be willing to share school supplies.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay knowledgeable by doing your homework.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Wirtz, and I would like to tell you about Battle of the Books. Battle of the Books is for anyone who likes to read and has a competitive spirit. For Battle of the Books, kids form teams of up to 6 members. Each team reads from the list of 28 books. In January, the teams will take a test to see who can qualify for the state competition. 16 teams from across the state will get to go to the Grand Battle. The Grand Battle is an all-inclusive round trip to Marshalltown, Iowa. Woo! So, during the Grand Battle, they will compete against other teams from across the state, answering questions to vie for the trophy and grand champion of Battle of the Books 2016. If Battle of the Books sounds interesting to you, let me know. I can get you signed up and get you on a team to compete for that trophy.
My name's Ashley Truman, and I'm a part of the Battle of the Books team here. Battle of the Books is a competitive reading thing that students participate in, and we go against teams from all over Iowa. And it's where you read a book and then you answer questions over it, and then you can win prizes such as money for the school and stuff like that.
Hi, I'm Alex Robran, and I did Battle of the Books last year, and I did it just because it's really fun and it's a way to get involved with teammates and friends, and it's a good way you just can read a bunch of good books.
Dance Marathon is quickly approaching. Make sure you're there on February 6th.
Bring some money for the kids. Followed by an interview from Connor.
I thought we hit rock bottom and then the floor gave out. The year you lost your health, the year we lost our house.
When I was pregnant with Teddy, about halfway through the pregnancy, we went to get an ultrasound and discovered that there was something wrong with his kidneys. But every time we went in to keep an eye on it, it actually just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So we didn't really know what to expect when he was born. He peed in the delivery room, and everybody said, "He's peeing, his kidneys must be working fine." And they sent us home, not realizing that we took home a very, very sick baby, but we didn't know it. We ended up transferring to the hospital in Iowa City. Stayed there for about a month while they got things figured out. He had 3 or 4 surgeries during that time. They were unable to fix the problems, and but we got him stable, got sent home, and basically we were waiting for him to crash, and he ultimately did. 9 months later, and we're 5 or 6 hospitalizations and another 5 or 6 surgeries, various implements being implanted in him, and he eventually needed to start dialysis. So we continued to try to manage him medically and hope that he wouldn't get too bad while he grew big enough to get a kidney. Fortunately, while we were waiting for him to grow, we were able to find a donor. A friend of mine stepped up and said he could have one of her kidneys. So by the time he was big enough, we had a donor lined up. He got his transplant when he was 20 months old, and that was in July of 2013.
Dance Marathon is a nationwide movement for high school and college students to raise money for Children's Miracle Network, but it's a whole lot more than that. We're raising money for kids who will never be like you and me. They may never sit in a classroom without some sort of physical disability. They may never go to the bathroom like you and I do. They may never be able to sit without an oxygen tube to help them breathe.
Compared to his brother and sister, he seems like he's a little bit more advanced at this age. But then again, we keep remembering that he's a little behind in his age because he spent the first year or so in a hospital bed, basically. Teddy's doing really well, with the exception of every little thing, a cold, a sneeze, a sniffle. You start to worry about, is this going to be a hospital trip? He's older than I think he is, because the first year or so of his life was in and out of hospitals all the time, with the kidney transplant, with dialysis training, with everything that we went through. It's just kind of hard to imagine how old he is in real life, because we judge it by when he came home.
We're raising money for kids because they need help. It's not about you anymore. It's not about me. This is something that's bigger than you, and it's something bigger than me.
Hi, my name is Connor Botts. I'm 19 years old. I'm a director, VFX artist, and supervisor for director of photography and cinematographer for Dark Pulse Productions. I started filming 12 years ago, so I've been doing this about 12 years. I was actually trying to watch Star Wars, but I put in the special features CD instead of the movie, and I thought that was the movie. And my dad showed me the actual movie, and I lost it, and I fell in love with film ever since then. Projects that I've recently been working on is my post-apocalyptic film Years, as well as I have an action film called Dust in the works right now. I have a sci-fi one that's being worked on in London right now for Lambda, and it's just tutorial videos to also help other indie film directors. So I just put them on my channel and help other people out. Some of the challenges I face as being a director, especially for my project Years or other films I've worked on, is just keeping everyone in line and doing what we need to do. I expect at least 1 to 2 problems every film shoot. I've never had a film shoot go exactly right. If that ever does happen, I'll praise that day. But a lot of the struggles that I just deal with are just camera issues, or people not being able to get their lines right, or just time in general. Most times I spend anywhere between 9 to 16 hours on a film shoot, unless it's a shorter film. And it's a really struggle trying to keep everyone in line. And since, as a VFX editor, I'm the guy who films on the camera and then sits down on the computer for hours and edits and puts it all together. And that can also be stressful and very, very boring. Extremely boring. I usually will have to have something else on or some kind of music playing, or I would go insane. It's that ridiculously boring. But it's definitely a challenge. How I see the benefit, though, is after seeing everything put together and actually watching your film, that's what keeps me interested in filming and still wants to do it, or still wanting to do it, is just the fact of seeing that story that you created come to life. And that's why I do what I do.
basketball highlights. Hey, Alpha, speaking of basketball, I'll be there on Friday to watch you. What position you play again?
Left bench.
Well, that's a pretty vital importance to the team.
What can we expect for the rest of the year, Coach?
Hopefully fight every night. I think these guys know that you can't just walk on the floor and win. We're good enough to beat any team in the state of Iowa, and at the same time, any team can beat us if we don't play well. So I think you're going to see a lot of fire, a lot of excitement from all of our players. And we're getting better at executing. We executed very well on the offensive end and the defensive end tonight.
What I expect out of this rest of the season is state championship and get buckets and get some more dunks on people.
I feel like coming into the game, we were kind of like, we weren't playing very well as a team, like the games before, but coming into this game, we had a couple good practices and practicing real hard and working. And during the game, it was great team chemistry, and it was just great to win, man. It's huge. We needed that one.
AHS, we got your very first dromedary.
What's a dromedary?
I don't know. I didn't think you'd ask me that. Well, but afterwards, we got me challenging Tyler in a wrestling match.
I'm Griffin O'Connell.
I'm Joel Dyer, and this week Tyler had the audacity to challenge me in a wrestling match.
And if you think you can beat us in any challenge, any at all, DM our Twitter page.
Our tale of the tape.
You can run on for a long time, run on for a long time, run on for a long time. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Sooner or later, gotta cut you down. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Well, my goodness gracious, let me tell you the news. My head's been wet with the midnight dew. I've been down on bended knee, talking to the man from Galilee. He spoke to me with a voice so sweet, I thought I heard the shuffle of angels sweet. He called my name and my heart stood still when he said, John, go do my will. Go tell that long-tongued liar. Go and tell that midnight rider. Tell the rambler, the gambler, the backbiter. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down. Tell him that God's gonna cut him down.
Thank you for watching
Real Ankeny Productions.
And that's a wrap.